some big damn mansion out here in Great Falls on about 3.5 acres. He teaches some course out here, some real estate course for agents. I hear it's fantastic.
You know, I've heard the same thing. Wasn't that the same John Unruh that went to Georgetown?
Yeah, that's...
Got out with honors?
Smart.
A brilliant student. I
absolutely. So, probably the smartest son of a bitch I've ever seen.
I've heard an awful lot of people say that about him.
Well, you know, anywhere you go. I mean, you know, you go into Georgetown, I mean, my God, you can be in Clyde's, anywhere you want to go. Okay, they just think he's about the greatest thing ever walked the earth. And I'll tell you something else, too, Bob. He's come up with this course. I understand he spent about 1.5 years on it, put about $60,000 of his own money into this thing. And supposedly real estate agents are going crazy. But I mean, he's just that kind of guy. I mean, he's just an incredible individual.
Well, he always has been. You know, I recall he's an extremely innovative type guy. And if anybody was going to come up with something, and I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this real estate course, Unruh is the kind of guy that would do it.
Is this the same guy who used to date just beautiful women? I mean, you know.
The same one.
Yeah.
The same one. It used to eat your heart out every time you'd see the guy coming. He's probably doing the same thing with his course.
I wonder what that dog's doing now. He's married. He's got a couple kids now. I mean, his days are over, you know. And he's aging, too. But, he, you know, even...
I don't know how far over it can be. I keep hearing things about this real estate course. I think he's making a comeback.
You think so?
I think it's possible, even at his advanced age.
I don't know. Yeah, well, you know, 37 years old, you know, that's, it's really quite tough. I'll tell you something, though, that I've heard. I've heard that, you know, now that he's even on to greater heights, and you know, he's been absolutely very successful his whole life. You know, he was Lauren Foster's top agent in 1976. He was voted their top new home salesman, I believe. In fact, he had the top seller volume in the whole company. He is on to even greater things. But I tell you, he's got a problem. And you know what that problem is?
What is it?
His damn course, you won't believe this, it's kind of crazy. His damn course has been so successful, the Internal Revenue has got wind of it. And now they want a cut of it. It's just absolutely unbelievable. That's what the rumor is in the business. You know, I go to Georgetown, some of these agents in, you know, drinking all the time. And that's the word that I hear.
Well, you know, from everything I've heard about how successful this course is and how great it is, it doesn't surprise me that IRS would have started to get a hold of it by now.
Well, you know the thing...
Washington's a small town.
Yeah, it is a small town. Absolutely, they do. But in this case here, you know, they're on to big money, obviously. They think that they're going to get their cut out of here. As a matter of fact, to show you how far they've gone, I've heard that they've even gone so far. Now, you're not going to believe this, but I hear they've even gone so far is that they have 2 secret agents that they've employed to put on his tail, to follow him all the time. And in fact, yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I hear they're even willing to take the clothes off his damn body to get their money. You know, shh. I think I spot him now. He's probably going down to get his morning paper.
I think you might be right. Damn, I can't believe it. They use the kids as deputized IRS agents. I just can't believe it. Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a dramatization of what really could happen if the Internal Revenue found out just how successful this course is. So I'm asking each and one of you, as you watch this course today, and those of you that have taken the course, never to repeat it to anybody, especially an agent, because they're going to come and going to take everything I have. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ask all of you now to stand. Please stand. And I'm going to ask you to take a pledge. And if you'll raise your right hand, I, and repeat your name, pledge never to reveal what I've heard and seen here today, under pain of castration, sterilization, or a 5-fold increase in my chances of getting jaw cancer. So help me Mercury. You may sit down now. Just as a note of explanation, I'm sure you've all heard that pledge before. That ancient pledge was first given by Sisyphus, who was the king of Corinth. And we all know where Sisyphus ended up, don't we? Thank you.
Hey, Ray, what's happened?
Well, not too much, Bob. I tell you, he's a crazy guy, isn't he?
He sure is.
I don't believe him. I hear that he's going to take this camera inside his house now and kind of show everybody where they sit down, and he beats all this knowledge into them.
That ought to be interesting. I'm kind of curious about that myself.
Yeah, I know. You know, he's so crazy outside. I wonder what the heck he does inside. You ever taken this course?
Well, I'll tell you, I've been thinking seriously about it, but I'm kind of afraid that maybe my kids might kind of turn around and get me too.
Yeah, you're right. Well, anyway, let's go in and take a look.
All right.
Good morning again. I want you to take a look around. This is where I live, where my wife works very, very hard cleaning it up. And the students come here at 9 o'clock. No one comes late to my class. No one, absolutely no one. No one has ever gotten in one of my classes late. So they all show up here at 9 o'clock promptly, just like the sun's coming up. And they sit here, we chat for a little bit of chit-chat, and then we head on downstairs. Why don't you just pan the room a little bit, take a look around, and then also the area where we eat lunch. I serve a full-course lunch upstairs. By the way, that stained glass that you're on now, that came out of the Secretary of War under Lincoln's house. It's a very unusual piece of stained glass. That and 2 panels downstairs, over 600 pieces in it. Which gives you some idea of the size of my mortgage payment. It's outrageous. why don't we take a look at the bar area now. This is the bar area, which is next to the living room and dining room. This is where all the students come up to play during lunchtime and to play the jukebox. Jukebox is rather interesting. It's one of the old, what are called 1015s, bubblers. It's made by Wurlitzer, and it's the most famous jukebox that was ever made. Panning over here, if you can take a look, this bar is rather unusual. It came out of a ship in solid layers of mahogany and maple, and it's considered one of the finest pieces of Art Deco that was ever made. By the way, while Bob is panning back and forth in the room here, I have a song I'd like to dedicate to the Internal Revenue, and we'll kind of head on downstairs with this. Keep it rolling. I want him to hear this nicey. This is by the Ink Spots. Found this fast-paced music in this house. It's called Do I Worry? All right, let's take a run downstairs. When I come over here. Welcome back. This is the downstairs of my house, and where the students actually go into class and sit down for 8 hours of me dumping this stuff in their heads. During lunchtime, if they have a little bit of time, which they do, they can come down here and play on my snooker table, which is a rather unusual table. This table was made in 1858. It's the only one of its kind in the country, and it was in the Argentine embassy when rescued. The bumpers actually are still good on it, the original bumpers. And the backboard here, that you can see, is a very unusual backboard. They still do not understand, it's all inlaid ivory, they still do not understand how this game was played. No one in Brunswick can tell us. If you take a look around the room, you'll see a TV over there. It's a 26-inch Sony with a video camera. Now, the film that you're about to see of my course was made yesterday. And for students who've taken my course, they are eligible during certain times of the year to come back and actually sit down, go over the tape. It's about a 6-hour tape, bring their notebooks, and review what they've taken. So they have more than one opportunity to learn the course. Here. And this is my classroom. I can handle up to 7 students, but I prefer not to have more than 5 or 6. The print you see over there was made in Paris in 1927. It was very rare. It's done by a man named JLO. Now, you guys start in on... Welcome back. In about 3 minutes, you're going to see my course. This is a course I taught yesterday to an office of people who I would say combined probably have over 60 or 70 years experience. It was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed ourselves teaching successful marketing through qualifying for the 19A's. This is an extremely valuable course. It's a unique course, quite frankly. To my knowledge, there is no one, certainly in this metropolitan area, that has a course like mine, because my course is different. It is not a typical underwriting course. Most mortgage lenders, when they go out and teach real estate agents, they're talking about nothing more than VA formulas, FHA formulas, conventional formulas, and how to use them. My course is different. It's really combines the best of both worlds. It combines real estate sales with mortgage underwriting. I have only one goal, and my goal, besides making a lot of money, my goal is to teach real estate agents how to close more deals, how to put more money in their pocket, how to serve their clients to whom their fiduciary relationship is owed. Because I know if they serve their clients and they do a job for their prospects, sell their prospects, then I'm going to get more loans and I'll get more business too. My course is unique in that it has a twofold approach. I teach not only real estate marketing, I teach mortgage underwriting. It's a very important distinction. I do not just teach underwriting. There'll be 6 modules. We'll talk of VA financing, FHA, conventional. We'll take a problem through the whole course. We'll talk about creative financing, wraps, land contracts, land trust, and we'll finish up with FHA. It's a very interesting course. It is not for the young at heart. It is an extremely difficult, fast-paced course, as you will see. Anyway, have fun, sit down, enjoy yourself. All right? Have fun. Bye now.
Look, that's the E off Ann. You be sure I put an E on Ann. Otherwise it's Ann.
Make sure you spell it right.
Ann.
I have actually a very distinguished group here today.
Okay.
Right, don't we? All pros. Huh? Everybody been around a long time?
No, I'm not.
See, I teach all different. How much experience do you
A
have?
little over a year.
A little over a year. Okay. Well, everybody. Usually, the word has gotten around now in this course that this, even though we have a lot of fun and lunches and a lot of crazy things here. Oh, by the way, did everybody know Frank Cassiggy died? I just thought I'd let you know that.
Who?
Okay. You know who Frank is?
No, I
Grace
just said
doesn't?
who.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
it's-
Frank died in the Boer War in 1906. He got shot. Anyway, they gave Frank a medal. This is my sick humor. They gave Frank a medal, okay, when he died.
Beating for that one.
And so, if you think that I'm boring, see, you raise your hand, and then I have to wear this medal
In the boardwalk.
until I get my head on right, okay? So you think if I get boring in this course, then all you do is raise your hand, and then we put this on. All right, so we get going. This is actually, as you know, I'm sure you will, because most of you here know me, this is a very fast-paced course, okay? People who are truly new, now you have a year experience, but people here that can walk in here, I have problems with 2 types of people in this course, for real. I have trouble with people who come in who really maybe only have a couple weeks experience because they truly get lost. A year you're going to find you won't have that kind of problem. And I also have a problem, I've had it with 2 agents in the past 2.5 months, which is a lot of people I've run through here, you can see, who came in thinking it was just going to be kind of a fun, yip it up, have a little lecture and then go on home type course. And it wasn't. And they got about 2 hours into the course, they realized really what was happening, and by then it was too late to catch up. And one of the reasons that I don't let people in here that come late, okay, I don't let people that come in here, I never have, as Buddy knows in the course I've taught. No one comes into my classes late. And the reason they don't, and I'll ask you all an hour and a half from now if anybody could have caught up, and there is no way that they can catch up. There really isn't.
Your schedule's
The only-
really, I'm check?
Well, the thing is, it's a business. You know, there's no charge for the course, okay, although I do expect,
What if we
$10
just
million
play
in
dumb?
deals or
Old
something.
but dumb.
But this has taken me a year and a half, okay, and I've probably put probably close to $60,000 into this course. You get $10,000 in flip charts alone. So there's a lot of money in here, a lot of work that's gone in, a slice of my life. So I do take it seriously. I try and make it fun, and the only reason I make it fun is because it is a serious course, and there's a lot of things to do, and it's an incredible amount of work. We're going to cover today, the way the flow of the course will go, we're going to start talking about money. All right, we'll talk about the secondary market. We won't spend a lot of time on it because that's really not why you're here. We'll talk about conforming versus non-conforming, where the loans end up. Then we'll start talking about the formulas, VA, FHA, and conventional. Now, I am a great believer in this business that whether you're new or old, okay, that you can't get out and properly talk to your clients until you really know what these formulas are, really know how to work them. Then, after you know, if you want to call a lender every time without working the FHA formula out, well, God bless you. But it's just something that's more professional to do. And I think everybody here, especially those of you that have been around a long time, would agree. Some of the new people that come rolling in, it's kind of tough for them mentally to understand that. The other thing is, once we start finishing up with that, we're going to take a problem that's a fairly difficult problem, and we're going to run it through the whole course. So you will be able to have some perspective on the difference between VA and FHA and conventional, and what qualifies, what drops out at a certain interest rate. Then we're going to talk about FHA. Then we're going to do a lot of applications. All right. Now, basically, this whole course is geared in two respects. One, we talk a lot about underwriting, but then second off, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about applications. And this is where this course is completely different than any course that you've taken. Most mortgage lenders that I know do not have a lot of real estate experience. And of course I do, and I was a successful real estate agent too, as you know. And so this is half underwriting and then half applications. My feeling is that you can learn all these formulas till you turn purple, but if you can't take these formulas and put money in your pocket, okay, then you may as well take the book and throw it in the trash can. There's an old saying in this business that you can do everything right, but if you can't close, you can't do anything. You may as well be a tour guide and get on a bus, all right? And that's the way I believe that. And so we try and teach you some of the underwriting techniques that you can now use with your clients to put money in your pocket, and thereby serve your fiduciary relationship, which is in most cases to your seller. Then once we're finished that, we're going to spend what you may think is an inordinate amount of time on FHA. Now, FHA used to be an optional module in my course, but once they raised the loan amount up here to $89.5, then all of a sudden it became practical, and there was a lot of deals there. FHA will be around for some time too, contrary to what you've heard. This year there's plenty of money, is my understanding, for FHA. By the time the budget cutters get around, start hacking away, probably we have 2 years left for FHA. After that, you're going to see some pretty dramatic changes. Then, once we're finished, in fact, we're going to talk about the new 245B program too, which is a very complex program, as you will see. But there's a lot of deals in it. They're truly.
Just sold one.
Did you really?
I did.
Honest to God. Once we're finished with this,
Investor.
you're going to see deals in this thing that are unbelievable. And then we're going to finish up. We'll do a little bit of creative financing if you want to talk about first or seconds, wraps, land contracts, land trust. I do not spend a lot of time on land contracts or land trusts for two reasons. One, although there's a wealth of material in your book, because I consider it a broker problem, number one. I don't want to interfere with the broker. And second off, I consider it more importantly a legal problem today. So we will not spend a lot of time on this, although if you have some questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Basically, the way the course is structured, we should break for lunch somewhere around 1 o'clock or so, depending how things go. You all got a little bit of a break, okay, today. I thought I would try just to see how much time it took. The course is out of sequence. The course went to the printer in December, and I changed the flow of the course because I did quite a few. I did 7 or 8 dress rehearsals before I even taught my first class. So I noticed as I went through, the flow was a little bit out of sync, so I changed it all. I usually have everybody come in here for the first 20 minutes. They're changing pages inside and out. The first 39 pages were out of sync. You will notice, for example, if you turn to page 8 or 9, somewhere in that area in your book, you will notice in pencil a different number marked next to it. Those are in fact, from 0 to 39, okay, after we get past page 39 or 40, then we go back to a regular routine. Anyway, use the pencil notations. Later on, when you get back in the real world to mark, you want to change them back because there is an index for the pages. Okay, then you can go back and change them back. Okay, any questions at all? We'll skip now. One of the things, as Buddy was in one of my courses, I know Ann was. You took one of mine. Mary, were you in?
Mary.
Yes.
Me too.
Terry,
Yeah.
were you in one of
Yeah.
these? Okay, we go way back. All right. As you know, in my old course, what we used to do, we were racing like bandits.
Yeah.
Okay, we got in there and it was a write fest. All right, and it's one of the reasons that I started to rewrite the course to see if I could solve that problem, because I do cover an incredible amount of material one day. As you, at the end of the day, you will see when you have your final test, right? Okay.
Do you lose your voice, John?
To some.
She
Yes, as a
prays.
matter, believe it or not,
She prays.
at the end of the day, it gets very, very difficult. You will see in the course, you'll be able to follow it fairly easily. There are 3 changes that I've made to the course to make it easier because there's so much material, okay? Now, all agents, they want it quick and they want it easy. All right, that's the way agents want it, okay? They don't want to spend every Tuesday night for 3 months learning something, all right? I can give it to you quick, but I can't give it to you easy, all right? And so that's basically what the premise that we're going to go on. To help you absorb information and to prevent what I call alpha waves. Does everybody understand what an alpha wave is? Okay, that's like when Mary's watching a show at 7 o'clock, and all of a sudden your husband comes in at 11 and says, Mary, what were you watching at 7? If your life depended on it, if the life of your kids depended on it, you can no more remember what you watched at 7 than Man on the Moon. And that's what we call an alpha wave. That's where you're kind of sitting there and just smiling and everything, and it's just going right through. And this is what we're going to try and prevent today. To help do this, there's a couple differences in this course from any other course that you've probably taken. One, I have very detailed flip charts, which is very unusual. The second thing is I have extremely detailed notes. The notes will correspond to the flips usually. So, you have a choice today. You can look at the flips, you can look at your book, you can look at me. All right? I think you'll find it easier to go along and kind of look at me. The reason I'm trying to put a lot of detailed notes in the book is so you don't have to take a lot of notes and you can listen and try to get the absorption rate up, because there is a lot of material. Come 2:30 today, you're going to think you're in a cyclone. All right? But if you've absorbed some of this stuff in little bits and pieces, you'll find it a lot easier. I'll tell you right now, the way to take this course, there is absolutely no way that you should try and remember everything that I teach you today, that we go. There's absolutely no way. You'll blow your mind. Just try and pick up a little bit in pieces. Now, a lot of you, Mary and Buddy and Bob, you all have years of experience here. So a lot of this stuff, when we start talking about conforming versus non-conforming, this is going to be old hat to you. So that kind of stuff you can kind of mentally block out, maybe pick up one little thing that you learn, okay? And discard the rest of it because you already know it. And you'll find you absorb a lot more. Now, basically, the way we're going to start off, now I've already really gone over quite a bit of this. Basically, we're going to start off with the secondary market. All right, we're going to talk about Freddie Mac, we're going to talk about Fannie Mae, we're going to talk about Ginnie Mae. Now, most of you should be familiar with the secondary market. Okay, is there anybody here that really doesn't understand the secondary market? Okay, there shouldn't be anybody. Basically, as you know, in the secondary market, we're really talking about the 3 major vehicles today. And the secondary market gives us flexibility, doesn't it? Okay? That's really what it does. It gives us flexibility and it gives us liquidity more than anything else. It gives us the ability to dump money, get new money to re-lend out. Okay? Because we're really going full cycle, aren't we? Okay? When Terry makes a payment on her insurance policy, the insurance company collects hundreds of millions of dollars that they have to get rid of. How do they get rid of it? They're looking for the best rate of return, so they dump some of it, okay, let's say, into the secondary market. The secondary market lends it back out. A mortgage banker may get hold of some, all right, and then he goes and he makes a loan to Terry. Terry, let's say she buys a house VA, she makes her payment, I service the loan, I pick the payment up, send it to the certificate holder, who may be the XYZ insurance company up in Massachusetts, and so the money went full circle. And that's really all we're talking about when we're talking about the secondary market. There's an extra element in there, and that element really is liquidity. And as we'll see, one of the trade-offs for liquidity is going to be yield. Now, the first one that you all should be familiar with,